is incorporated that corporate directors are not permitted to use their position of trust and confidence to further their private interests. Oops. Let's turn now to Congressman James Clyburn of South Carolina, the House Democratic Whip. Welcome back to the program, sir.
Well, thank you so much for having me back, Keith.
And joining us as well, a target of the Chamber of Commerce campaign, Congressman John Boccieri of Ohio. Congressman, I appreciate your time tonight, too.
Thank you, Keith.
I will get to the Chamber, but I want to begin with Congressman Clyburn on Mr. Murdoch's News Corp. $1 million to the RGA, $1 million to the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, which is bankrolling this $75 million attack. What is the Democratic strategy, the political strategy, for dealing with a media outlet that has now put its money where everybody has known its mouth has always been?
Well, this is a shame, and I think we now know the definition of fair and balanced. Fair to the Republican Governors Association, and you balance that out with the United States Chamber of Commerce. That's what's going on here. It is absolutely a shame, and I would hope that the American people, looking in on this kind of activity, will begin to focus on the fact that we now know why we can't get this economy moving as fast as people would like. We have created legislation to make it in America, and the other side has been fighting that legislation. I think they voted against it 11 different times. That is an outrage. We now, in South Carolina, where I'm from, we see jobs going overseas. We see what has happened to our textile mills, and it's all because there was always this little plan to export jobs, and the Chamber, Donahue, a guy that I have I know very well, and I can't understand him saying that it enhances competition to get rid of jobs in local communities. We're trying to create jobs in the communities where people go to the polls to vote, where people really need to uplift themselves, do good for their families. And here we see them being denigrated, and every attempt that's made to uplift these people now being outsourced. Outsourcing jobs like this is absolutely the worst thing that you can do to local communities throughout this country, and I really believe that people are beginning to focus on this, and they are going to rise up by November 2nd, and they are going to show that Make It in America is what it's all about.
Congressman Clyburn, is there a legislative response to the idea that there is a national cable news outlet that goes beyond having a point of view and actually starts to shill for partisan causes and actually starts to donate to partisan groups of one party?
Well, I don't know that there's one yet. Now, that's one of the reasons I have always been a little bit upset about us getting rid of the fairness doctrine. I do believe that there needs to be a very critical look taken, especially at Fox News and what they're doing. They are absolutely undermining democracy in this country. They are drowning out the voices of the little, what I would call the ordinary person in this society. That is not what our country is all about. We should be about encouraging people to be a part of the governmental process rather than going out targeting the folks that they are voting for defeat and using foreign money to do it. That is absolutely incredible.
All right, to that point and to the Chamber, Congressman Boccieri, the Plumb Line reported today that you had a uniquely personal kind of response to this news about where the Chamber gets its money, their tax on you. Can you share that personal response with us?
Well, Keith, I never dreamed I would see the day when the United States Chamber of Commerce is using foreign money to launch domestic attacks against Americans. This is unbelievable to me that we would allow foreign governments to influence our elections. The community I represent in Northeast Ohio has lost hundreds of thousands of jobs that have been shipped overseas. And now the very same multinational corporations that took our jobs overseas are using foreign governments and foreign entities and the United States Chamber of Commerce to launch attacks against the member of Congress who's trying to bring those jobs back. I mean, it is unbelievably unprecedented. I believe the Citizens United decision has handed the electoral keys of government over to big corporations. It's as if the Supreme Court allowed the Chamber of Commerce to roll up to the drive-through window and supersize the campaign contributions. The most I can get from any one individual, and these contributions are very rare, is $2,400. Well, the Chamber can turn to a foreign entity and say, we need $240,000 to take out this member of Congress who thinks that you should be playing by the same rules as Americans do.
Mr. Boccieri, what do you need from the National Party right now in terms of trying to push back some of that tidal wave?
Well, I hope that there's going to be some investigations. Keith, I put my life on the line for this country, and I never dreamed of the day that I would have a foreign government now, while I'm serving our government in the United States Congress, launching attacks against me because I believe that America should grow it, build it, and assemble it here in our own country. Never dreamed that this day would come. There should be investigations, there should be reports given, and the Chamber of Commerce needs to own up and answer to the American people. To suggest that they shouldn't open their books, that they shouldn't disclose this and be transparent while they're purportedly spending millions of dollars is just outrageous.
Mr. Clyburn, last point. What can Congress do what Mr. Boccieri needs? Is there an investigation possible of the money that goes into the Chamber of Commerce?
Oh, sure, but not between now and November the 2nd.
Yeah.
That's the problem here. All of this damage will be done over the next 4 weeks, and then we'll come back in January with a new Congress. Yes, there will be some kind of investigation. I think Senator Franklin has talked about filing their formal complaint, but then it will be too late for people like John Boccieri, who I think has served 2 tours on behalf of this country. Joe Sestak, the highest-ranking military person to ever serve in the United States Congress, having this kind of stuff against him, that is absolutely incredible, and the American people should reject this on November 2nd.
The House Whip, Jim Clyburn, Congressman John Boccieri, thank you both for your time, gentlemen.
Thank you, Keith.
Thank you.
One of their colleagues is running for re-election in conservative territory against